I'm Nina Crowley. I'm Seeka's Professional Affiliations and Education Manager, and I'm here today with Jeremy Kuper, who is the Chief Wellness Officer at Atlantic Exercise Physiology, and he is a clinical instructor at Teachers College at Columbia. So I'm excited to have him on to talk to us about body composition in his world and physical therapy. And in conversations that we've had in the past, I think we could probably talk for an hour about this or even longer.
Absolutely, Nia. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thanks. So I mean, one of the things I'm most excited for you about is starting a new role with teaching, and I know you've been able to integrate the body composition into your plans there with the Teachers College, and then also in your practice. So I thought I'd let you kind of tell me what you have going on.
Absolutely. So, on the clinical side, so as you mentioned, I'm the Chief Wellness Officer at Atlantic Physical Therapy Center. And right now, we are in the process of integrating body composition, but also exercise physiology services into our 35 locations throughout New Jersey. And one of the biggest draws for my department is body composition, and especially not only on the patient side, but also the clinicians. The PTs love it when they can see the skeletal muscle mass
Mm.
at initial appointment, and then 6 months later or towards the end of treatment, whatever that is, and seeing they're able to either maintain muscle or if they end up losing muscle. It's been helpful in guiding treatment, and that's something that we've been really kind of happy to see and happy to integrate into the practice. And on the teaching side, I'm happy that this is my first year as a clinical instructor at Teachers College, and that's something where I'm really kind of mentoring and guiding the next generation of clinicians that are coming through to be able to utilize whether it's body composition, VO2 max testing, and just to kind of make our society a healthier and happier place.
So it's so great. And you do so much other work too. I think even like in YMCA's you're volunteering. So you're kind of in all the different areas.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been great. So now YMCA's of Monmouth and Ocean County, New Jersey are really one of the first YMCA's across the country and also on the East Coast to be implementing medical body composition analysis, but also VO2 max testing. And so the possibilities in the doors for improving overall health and, monitoring as we go forward is, the possibilities are endless, but also the benefits are endless as well. So I'm very excited to be, working with Jennifer Dunn along with Christopher Nasta as well. So it's been a fantastic team to really kind of change the way people are really thinking about exercising, eating, and just how they perceive their bodies going forward.
That's great. And in the YMCA's, what kind of people are coming through? Is it everybody or specific programs, or how do you kind of connect with which groups of folks you're seeing?
Absolutely. So we are initially connecting with the health and fitness coordinators and instructors there, and really kind of give them workshops and educate them about medical body composition analysis and saying, oh, how can you utilize this information, but also how can you explain it to your members? And so eventually we're going to be opening up body composition and VO2 max to really all members of YMCA, granted that they, don't have that pacemaker or cardiac arrhythmia or aren't pregnant. So we want to make sure that as people are getting these services, they are really taking that information and running with it. And it's just a matter of, how we deliver it, but also, making sure that they know that once they step on the scale, they're getting medically validated and, wonderful results.
That's awesome. And I know that we've talked a lot about how you're using it in your practice there at Atlantic Exercise Physiology, but tell me a little bit more. I know you said the PTs like having skeletal muscle mass, but how does it really, work with the way that you're treating patients in their program?
Of course. So with Atlantic Exercise Physiology, it's a subdivision of Atlantic Physical Therapy Center. And so my division, we really provide programs that are 3, 6, and 12 months long that patients are able to step on and monitor their body composition every week. Because I try to reinforce to my patients that we're providing great progress every week, but we want to look at trends. We're not looking at a scale that you step out at home and saying, okay, oh, my weight fluctuated or stayed the same from week to week. But when they step on, we're seeing either positive changes in their muscle mass or body fat percentage, or maybe even in their visceral adipose tissue. And that being said, with our programs, everyone's able to come into the clinic 3 times a week to participate in training, individualized based on their VO2 max, but also body composition. So a lot of times people come in and say, "Oh, I need to be walking more, or running more," but in actuality, we see their skeletal muscle mass is so low for their age that we are really reinforcing, lifting weights and
Mhm.
to boost metabolism, to help lose weight. So it's been a tremendous eye opener for not only the PTs to be able to say, "Oh, well, my treatment isn't working," or maybe I'm not pushing the patients hard enough. To some of our wellness coaches that are like, "Okay, well, now I need to really think about how I'm talking with the patient that may be at a higher risk for diabetes or heart disease."
And I love the idea too. I know in my background in the clinic with people who had bariatric surgery, we're seeing them very infrequently compared to that. So I'd imagine, your folks are getting to know the staff really well and they're coming in a lot more frequently because they're doing the work there. So I can imagine that being, having these kind of conversations at that point of care is really, even more helpful.
Absolutely. And we provide body composition for free for all of our patients initially, just to be able to kind of get the information,
Yeah.
process it. And then with our programs, family members are also able to get the body composition for free as well, because we really want to make sure that, support system, is in place. So when you have patients with obesity that are coming into our clinic that are really, have a, family, friends that can say, "Hey, listen, we understand what you're going through, but also we understand the results once you see changes and are able to kind of, support them going through the programs." But it's been really helpful, to say the least.
The halo effect with the families too. That's big.
Mhm.
Because we know they're not, going, just live in a bubble. You've got people at home and seeing that. I like that. I haven't heard anybody else doing it that way. So I feel like you're doing a lot of interesting and kind of innovative things there.
Yeah, we are. And the biggest thing is that, exercise physiology and, medical body composition analysis hasn't really been, democratized in the United States. And we focus a lot on treatment rather than prevention. And, my goal as not only a professional, but a clinician is really kind of like revolutionize, that lifestyle medicine to say, "Hey, listen, it's accessible. We can make it affordable." And because at the back end, down the road, maybe we can save some dollars on, healthcare costs for individuals or employees or employers as well. But it's one of those things, going back to the accountability, we have the programs in place where people are coming in so often is because I see too often you have these programs where, "Okay, here's your initial testing. I'll see you in 2 to 3 weeks or 3 months." And the results have been mixed. And, it's, it's unfortunate because our society is really at that critical point now where we need some serious, reevaluation of what we're doing.
Mm.
And I think that our programs are, can be national, but also state and regional averages. We've priced our programs well below you know, those averages, so we can really say to accommodate everyone of different socioeconomic backgrounds, because it's been too limited to like Olympic athletes, one percenters, and high net
Mm.
worth individuals. It's time that it's opened up to everybody.
Oh, I love that. And I think too, just one of the questions I get a lot is how does body comp, have a return on investment? I think that's a big question I get, but sort of seeing also it's not just an assessment, you're integrating it into almost it alone could be the thing that's drawing some people back in. And that's, kind of intertwining not just assessment and treatment, but like making them kind of work together.
Oh, without a doubt. It's really, in my opinion, the glue that holds it all together. Because a lot of times when people are going through, whether you're focusing on weight management or performance, or either longevity, people say, "Oh, my VO2 max increased," or maybe my metabolism is faster. But we're all human. We look in the mirror every morning. We say, "Am I the best version of myself that I want to be?" And it's one of those things that body composition plays such a huge role in everything that we do, and as an individual, whether we're making healthier food choices or what exercising I should be doing on a weekly basis. It's been great to be able to kind of reaffirm to people, "Hey, listen, if you're making these changes that are evidence based and backed by science, you're getting medically validated results to say, hey, listen, you're doing the right stuff." And behavior change has been, another thing we're really trying to incorporate and really support these changes, because it's hard, especially in a society where food's more expensive, that's made with less ingredients. And there's on TikTok, there's always oh, here's the best exercise for you or whatnot.
And
You want to make sure that, it's very personalized for everybody, based on your heart health, your lung health, and muscle health as well. And that's where we're really trying to, provide a lot of insight to people and say, hey, listen, now this is a new age of, health and wellness, and you just have to take advantage of it. Well, and we're trying to bring that out to all 35 locations across New Jersey.
wow. Well, yeah, it's funny. I think of, as I'm a dietitian, so my background is always all the crazy nutrition stuff that's on TikTok, and I'm sure the exercise stuff is just as or even more prevalent. But even in the obesity care space, I think we really have a lack of that connection with our exercise professionals, where there's not enough dietitians or behavioral people either, but I feel like that's kind of a missing link. I know in my practice too, it was like, we only had enough time to really start talking about behavior change in the, nutrition and food side of it, but really integrating that again into the exercise piece. Cause, we don't want this sort of simple eat less, exercise more message, right? We know that didn't work. But then sometimes I think what people's next step with when they get body composition testing done, they're like, okay, well, just like eat more protein and do some resistance training, right? And so, that again is another oversimplified message, but it seems like what you're able to do is sort of take that results and that data and combine that with actual like in person, real time, what is that increase in strength training, resistance training will look like? And you're there to provide accountability, which I think is really super important for making this work.
Absolutely. And, you harped upon the nutrition aspect, and that's something that when we provide the breath analysis testing, we're able to do the resting metabolic rate, where we can have diet plans being created by dietitians, or sometimes when breath analysis doesn't work for a lot of patients with obesity, that we refer them out to local dietitians. And dietitians in the area, they love the resting energy expenditure that we can get from the scale. And that being said, it's one of those things that we're able to, build a more cohesive network of professionals that can work together, because, it's very hard to find those locations or practices that are one-stop shop, and it may not work, whether it's not a network, or, maybe you're uncomfortable with the actual clinician. So it's like I said, it's a glue. It's a glue not only within the practice, but also to kind of build a network of professionals that are, starting to see the positives, but also the massive benefit of body composition analysis.
Yeah. Well, also, I know we talked a little bit about your work at Columbia, and maybe, even connecting with future dietitians in training and other professionals. So tell me a little bit more about what you're trying to do there and the clinic, or it's not a clinic setup, but you tell me, because I got it wrong probably.
No worries. So the clinic that we have is called the Extra Clinic at Teachers College. And so it's a clinic that provides personalized exercise and nutrition counseling for individuals. So very, very similar and actually, kind of to back up a little bit, I was at Teachers College from 2018 to 21, and Atlantic Exercise Physiology, the model was created from Teachers College, and what they're doing at the Extra Clinic. And so really then taking that model and bringing it to the general public and trying to make it affordable has been a tremendous success. But now being able to go back and to finish my doctorate of education, specifically in applied physiology, we're trying to revamp and reopen the clinic since COVID, because it's been very tough with people because we use a lot of advanced equipment that require breath. And so we're starting to reopen the clinic, or we are going to do a grand opening on September 13th to really kind of welcome everybody back. And when we're providing that kind of initial grand opening, we're providing body composition analysis for free for all interested individuals, granted that they fit the, they don't have any contraindications to get the analysis done. But so with that, we're really trying to look at and saying, okay, in my dissertation, my work is really looking at the feasibility, but also the effectiveness of really implementing exercise physiology and body composition testing into either an outpatient setting, either at a practice like Atlantic Physical Therapy Center, or at a university and
Mm.
see the effects of on not only on weight management, but also on overall behavior and perception of exercise and nutrition, but also their bodies. And maybe down the road, looking at cost savings as well for the universities and employers.
That hits on all of my things. I need to come join you up there.
Yeah. And, and it's one of those things that, we are very excited to see, what's next with Teachers College. And it's great that Atlantic and Teachers College have been working close together on one of the most recent studies that I am currently working on. We've been seeing a lot of tremendous improvements for exactly what we talked about for implementing body composition, but also our exercise physiology programs. And we've seen tremendous benefit in decreased body weight and BMI, but also significant decrease in body fat percentage and visceral adipose tissue, as well as improvements in skeletal muscle mass over the course of less
Wow,
than 5 months. And so that's,
that's it.
stay tuned. So it's coming out in the next couple of months. And I'll be happy to kind of talk about that once, down the road, once that's officially published.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of I don't know, the trifecta really of, weight loss with most being from body fat and preserving. And if you can increase that skeletal muscle mass, I mean, that's really what we're trying to get everybody to get to in these weight management programs. So congrats. Yeah, I can't wait to talk more about that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, well, I appreciate having you kind of share your experience. I know I'm always impressed with what you're doing there, so I wanted to tell more people about it through this channel, and happy to share any kind of results you have when those studies come out. And again, appreciate you teaching the future dietitians and exercise professionals. And I know for me, body composition was not as discussed in my undergrad, and in my graduate work either. So hearing that and being exposed to that early on, I think ensures that they'll be able to use that in their future practice too.
Absolutely. And, it just goes to show organizations like, Atlantic Physical Therapy Center, who, really saw the vision, and the CEO, Mike Manzo, and the CFO, Dave Manzo, who are brothers that founded the organization 20 years ago. They have a tremendous vision for what's to come in health and, rehabilitation. And that's something where it was great. We were able to really combine exercise physiology with physical therapy and occupational therapy. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple months ahead. And thank you so much for having me today.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.